I do know that we have to partner with other healthy communities. And to me, a healthy community is any organization, any group of people that inspire you to become a better version of yourself, right? People, there's all kinds of communities out there. I mean, people join gangs for community, but we want healthy communities. So you know, specifically churches, maybe 12-step programs, things like that. So we have to partner with them because we want them to attend our events, because a lot of times, number one, they're bored, but number two, they're the people that are going to help us with some of the heavy lifting, because when people come to the events and they're broken, you know, from the world, somebody's got to kind of grab them. What's up, everybody? Making my vlog. I haven't done one in a couple weeks, and excited to get everybody up to date and just kind of continue to document the journey. Lots happened in the last 2 weeks, I guess, since I made my last vlog, and just want to fill everybody in. So, and I am back in Baltimore. I was in Houston for the last 11 days. Having a spiritual experience here at the Salt Lake. This Texas barbecue does not disappoint. Really good. Going to see our old buddy Joel. 30 in the morning, we are walking into Lakewood Church. Hi, good morning. You can't make me live now. Sorry. You took on.
That's the way our God is. Promises you think are dead, things that you dreamed about at one time. You were excited, you knew that was your purpose, but now there's been mistakes, disappointments, people let you down, you worked hard, the doors didn't open. God is saying to you what he said to Moses, that dream is not only still alive, but I'm still going to bring it to pass.
First thing you should do is you should share with God. Look, God already knows. God knows what you're going through. But what he wants is this to be a moment for you and him to get connected, for you to lean into him in faith, for this to be a faith moment.
He's from Baltimore and has started a organization called City Fam. City Fam is not a Christian organization per se, although Rob is a Christ follower. Originally was born out of his need to, as a single man, to get connected, not to date, but to really just get connected with other people who desire and need connections and don't have them. You know that what resonated in me was really about how Christ did ministry. And what I saw in the picture of City Fam was that Jesus got in a lot of trouble with religious people, because what he did was, on his Fridays and Saturdays, if there was such a thing in biblical times, was he went and ate with those that, you know, the religious people didn't want to have anything to do with, and really rejected a rejected part of society were those that were unaccepted by the church in his day. And what Jesus did was he came to sort of set that on its end and to say, no, these are the people that have been marginalized, these are the people who have been rejected, these are the people that you know, the sick who need a doctor, the ones that I have come to demonstrate my love for, and who will receive that. And hearing Rob's story and what City Fam was about, and how Regeneration Church, our desire has been from the get-go to connect with and help hurting people. I think we've had a desire to do so, but maybe not the means to do so. And so when Rob sat down and told me, hey, this is what City Fam does, and I'm looking for perhaps some churches who might be willing to at least participate in the process. And would you pray about it? I really didn't have to pray about it. I was like, oh, this seems like something that we've been searching for as a church to, not to say I don't pray, but I'm just saying it's something we've been looking for as a church. Yes, we've been praying for it for a long time now. And so I wanted Rob as much as you're willing to share maybe a portion of your story, but also to share a little bit about the sort of the latter presentation and what is City Fam and how can we connect with you guys to engage in reaching people who need reaching.
I'm super grateful to be here, that you're giving me a chance, that you brought everybody here to hear about the organization. I've talked to a lot of churches in Baltimore. A lot of them they're busy doing church. Promote it and started trying to witness to all my friends, because all of a sudden I didn't even know that guy was real the day before, or 2 days before that, because I went the next day. But literally went from not knowing if God existed to knowing 100% that he was real. He was calling me to do something important. So I told Kevin I kind of had this Moses complex, and I was like, okay, God, I was like, you want me to lead everybody to you, obviously. I was the leader of the pack, of my group of friends. I was like the leader of the lost. So I was like, you want me to lead everybody to you? Got it, no problem. Hey guys, we're gonna start going to church now. And everybody was like, bye, So nobody came. So I dropped out. I did this, radical 180. I quit stripping, I quit promoting, I broke up with my girlfriend. I was abstinent for the next 6 years. This is the ladder that we operate by at City Fam, where if this is the top of the ladder, and that for us is fulfillment. I'm sorry. That's a place of fulfillment. Like, everybody wants to be there. They want to, become the best version of themselves, right? What we believe at City Fam is you can't do it without this community. Like, you need people around you to inspire you, encourage, and support you. Like the sermon that he preached today, you're just going to need people to hang out with, because you have to make so many right decisions to get up here, that if you don't have people to do life with, you will never make it, because Friday will come around and you'll drink, or you'll go use, or you'll get on Tinder, and something will happen and derail you if you don't have a group, because it's going to take a lot of right decisions. And I tried. The first 6 years that I was a Christian, I basically just isolated myself and thought, okay, eventually I'll meet somebody, and I'll have my community, I'll have my person, and I won't meet a group. It doesn't work. I mean, now look, if God sends your soulmate to you, great, but he might not. He might take you through a process, a wilderness period, before he takes you to your promised land. And if you don't have a community, you're just not going to be able to make it, in my opinion, through that wilderness, right? So the mistake that I see churches make is that, people are down here, they may be hurting. We ask them to do this. Take a big step and come to church. And that's exactly what I did. When I got saved, I tried to take all my friends to church, and none of them came. And if you look at the United States, 82% of the population doesn't go to church anymore, right? So they're not coming. And it's not a matter of just making the churches better, is what I tell people. You got to revamp the system, because so what we've done at City Fam is we added 2 other steps: service and social. This is the easiest step to get somebody to. Right. Hey, we're going to go see a band play at this bar down the street. We're going to go watch this movie now. Whatever it is, anything that's social, it's easy to get people to. Fun without regrets, that's what we call it. These people up here, they're bored. They're watching Dolphin Tales. Seriously. So you can get them to come down. And when this person comes up and they meet this person, that's where the magic happens. Because if you're here, if you're living a life of fulfillment, your attitude probably, especially if you're a committed follower of Christ, is what can I do for you? The attitude that they're used to is what can I get from you? Right. Especially if they're coming out of the bars. They're used to people using each other. So when they meet you and you're like, hey, you're genuinely interested in them, they're like, man, everybody's really nice. They love it. And then you're like, hey, a portion of tonight's proceeds is going to the women's shelter down the street, and we're going to go volunteer there in 2 weeks from now. Would you like to come with us? And people almost always say, man, I've always wanted to do something like that. I just didn't know how to get started. They take another step. By the time they get up here, they start feeling different about themselves. They have something to do now on the weekends besides the wrong thing, because there's fun without regret social events going on, and you'll see them walk right up the ladder, and their whole life changes. So we've seen this work really well in Baltimore on a small scale at our church, and then we started asking ourselves the question, like, how do we scale this now for other churches, other cities? And basically, so we were originally a small group. We were just a few friends that were getting together, you know, we started the social events and the service events. As the group got bigger, we noticed it started feeling different. We had lost intimacy at that point because it went from a small group to a big group. And what happened was, as the group got bigger, another small group kind of broke off on the side, and it was basically, so we started out of a guy's house named Billy Lofton. And everybody, for the most part, was like, you know, 30 to 45 years old. We were single, and we all lived within driving distance of his house. As the group got bigger, people started coming to City Fam events, and if they didn't fit in that mold, they might have been a senior citizen, they had kids, they lived 45 minutes away. I would invite them, but they didn't assimilate. And I would worry about them, because I'm like, this is where the magic happens, is when you're in small groups, not the big ones. And I started to say, well, you know, they're not getting the same experience that I'm getting. So what I realized is you have to have a lot of these. You have to have a lot of small groups plugging in with the big group. And each of these small circles can have their own DNA. This might be single moms that live in Katy. This might be senior citizens from, give me a town.
Cyprus.
Cyprus. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And so the purpose of the big City Fam social events becomes really just to figure out. So this person would be like an ambassador, let's say. They would be somebody, almost like when you go to like a 12-step program, you get a sponsor, somebody that can walk with, that's gotten sober, that can walk with you to get sober. So this is basically an ambassador. They would act as an ambassador. They're going to be in a group. And so you would ask somebody that comes to a City Fam event a few questions. Where do you live? How old are you? Are you married or single? And do you have kids? And if so, how old are they? Based on those answers, you pair them up with somebody, and then that person basically is just your friend. They just love you. You know, like we talked about.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Great. Thanks for having me. Hi, how are you? I'm doing a little Instagram story here.
Oh.
How are you? Pardon left.
Stacey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Good to meet you. How you doing? And it was an amazing trip. I actually went down there because I kind of hit a wall here in Baltimore where I was feeling burnt out for a while, I guess. And I woke up one day. I left early. I think it was whatever day it was that week. I think it was like a Wednesday. I left early that week, and then the next day I got up and I just couldn't even go to work. I was like just depressed, I guess, where I could not go in. And I laid on the couch all day and I just watched TV, and that's something that I don't do very often. I think I may have even talked about this in my last vlog. So I really thought a lot that day, and I met with Lori the day before, and she had said, you know, you really you need to break. She's like, you're burnt out, you need to go away, you need to let other people step up a little bit, take some of the weight, and you need to figure out maybe work on how to strategically partner with other healthy organizations, specifically churches. So I was like, yeah, you're right. I thought about doing that with Epic, but I thought, you know, she said something. She's like, if you go away, not only are you going to be able to rest, but other people are going to have to step up, right? So she said that, and it made me think about Houston. How's it going, everybody? Tigress, how are you? Lisa, what's up, Sophia? I'll see you soon. So it really made me think, and I thought, well, I could go to Houston because, you know, I knew Nicole down there had been trying to hook me up with her pastor, and she had a place to stay, and so I called her, and I was like, look, I'm thinking about coming down, and she said, yeah, come on. She's like, the timing couldn't be any better. So literally booked my ticket and left 36 hours later, and really not knowing what to expect, I guess, when I got there, but and looking back, it was all divinely orchestrated, in my opinion. So, because I got down there and it was just, had a lot of purposeful meetings. I met with the pastor of her church, showed him City Fam, showed him the ladder, and they absolutely love it. They really, he just, you know, fell in love with it, and had a bunch of meetings with other people that were part of churches down there. And I know City Fam's not faith-based, and I very, you know, say that a lot, and it's not. I'm very clear about that. But I do know that we have to partner with other healthy communities. And to me, a healthy community is any organization, any group of people that inspire you to become a better version of yourself, right? People, there's all kinds of communities out there. I mean, people join gangs for community, but we want healthy communities. So you know, specifically churches, maybe 12-step programs, things like that. So we have to partner with them because we want them to attend our events, because a lot of times, number one, they're bored, but number two, they're the people that are going to help us with some of the heavy lifting, because when people come to the events and they're broken, you know, from the world, somebody's got to kind of grab them, you know what I mean? Lock arms with them and build that relationship to help them, because a lot of times they're broken because they've been either hanging around bad people or maybe they just don't have any community at all. So one of the posts that I made recently was, you know, I said people that are tired of the boredom of the church and the brokenness of the world, and really that's kind of what it is, you know what I mean? So like, again, City Fam is that middle ground, that kind of balance between the two. So I'm excited because I really feel like it's the direction that I'm going to go in now. I'm gonna be traveling a lot more. You know, City Fam Houston is now launched. So after I met with the pastor in these churches, we had a meeting at her house, and we had about 12 or 15 people there, and I shared the vision of City Fam, and people were just on it. They loved it, and they automatically lined up dates for the next 3 months in Houston for social and service events for May, June, and July. People took positions, you know, social coordinator, service coordinator, and there was just so much buzz and excitement in the air. So we went ahead and created the platforms for them, and you know, they're off and running. And now I want to go back in May 3rd. I'll go back down, and I'm going to stay that weekend and help them get this chapter off the ground, attend their first social event. Probably go to Lakewood on Sunday. I went to Lakewood Church and I saw Joe Osteen preach live. He was like, you know, 50 feet away from me. It was pretty cool. So, and Houston is just an amazing city. It's just beautiful. It's really clean. It's really green, which is weird. I thought it was going to be really dry. I don't know, because of Western movies, I guess. But it was a really beautiful city. And I could totally see that Houston will blow right by Baltimore. You know, like we've already, you know, made every mistake in the book, and now we've got all these systems and processes worked out, so we're just going to kind of hand it off to them, and we'll see what happens. But there's already another small group in Phoenix, so after I go to Houston, my plan is to jump on a plane, fly to Phoenix on Monday, meet with that group, stay there a week, and while I'm there, I just want to do the exact same thing. I just want to meet with the leaders, obviously, but I want to meet with, you know, pastors or church leaders. I want to meet with podcasts. I want to do interviews. I want to talk about sex. I want to talk about the book. I want to talk about City Fam, of course. I want to plug City Fam in that area. And then, you know, media, if I could. I don't know if I could get on any radio or television. I would definitely do that if I could. But I just want to create as much buzz as possible, and then I want to go to the next place. I'm also going to Newark, Delaware later this month because we have a chapter that's getting off the ground there, and I'm trying to line up dates in New York City. So that is the plan. And when I'm here in Baltimore, I'm going to spend my time now not in the office like I've been for the last 5 years. I'm going to go out and I'm going to have more meetings. Because specifically what I want to do is, like I said, I want to talk to churches, and I really feel like the pain point for them is they want their people volunteering, they want their people serving in the community, but you know, churches aren't really built for that. They're not built to organize service events. You know, City Fam is built for that. This is what we do. We serve every month, and we want the churches to attend our service events. And I'm not going to ask for anything. I don't want any money. Just send your people to us. Let us organize that for you. And as they come to our events, you know, of course, we're going to invite them to our social events as well, because I want them to understand the latter, that we're not just a social group, you know, although it looks like that a lot of times. We are the bridge. And I think that once people start to understand that, obviously our service and our social event numbers will pick up. They'll get bigger, but we're going to be able to help more people. So anyway, that is what's going on in my world. That's like the fresh vision. I feel like I was like Moses. I went up to the mountains. I came down and I got clarity now, and I feel really good. My batteries are recharged, and I'm ready to hit the ground running now that I'm back in Baltimore. So that's what's up. Chat magazine came out. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but somebody sent me a copy from the UK, and I got it in the mail today, and I opened it up, and I just kind of like cringed a little bit. I mean, I got mixed feelings about it. It's kind of, you know, it's cool, I guess. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but I look uber douchey. And I mean, if you read the article, though, it's a really positive story. It talks about, you know, giving my life to God and the whole process, you know, so it's good, you know, but again, mixed feelings about it. But I don't know, mom's proud, so I guess that counts for something. But we have Renegade tonight. We're going to be at Kissling's over in the Canton area from 8 to 11. So if you're watching this and you're looking for something to do, we'll be over there having some wings, playing darts, hanging out. And we have our Nicaragua meeting this Sunday. So we're going to Nicaragua November 17th to the 24th. The date changed. I don't know if it changed before or after my last vlog, but we're going there November 17th to 24th to build a community center and a playground, and where you can take up to 30 people. So we're having a meeting here at the City Fam offices on Sunday afternoon from 2:30 to 4. If you can make it, if you just want more information about going, come to that meeting. If you can't make it, if you're not in the area or you just can't be here live, go to the Facebook event. I'll actually post the link as a comment, and you can we're going to stream it live from the event. So you can, you know, listen and you can ask any questions and get the information. And if you want to go, you put in a deposit and we'll hold a spot for you. So that's really it as far as Nicaragua goes. Again, I'll post the link as a comment. So I got some bad news, I guess, or just, you know, disappointing news the other day. So Home, La Tolteca, is opening as another business. It was in the Baltimore Business Journal. I saw it, I guess, about a week and a half ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It might have been right before I left. So I was disappointed. You know, I was hoping that God was holding that spot for us and we were going to be the next ones in there. And there's going to be some like crab place is going to open there. So I don't know. It sucks, to be honest. I don't know how to feel about it. You know, I'm disappointed for sure, but at the same time, like, you know, the reason that I haven't pushed hard to, you know, I pushed hard actually. I pushed hard last summer. I mean, I did town hall meetings and membership drives, and we just came up short. And I didn't, you know, the guy gave us bad terms, and I just felt like it was the right thing to do at the time was walk away. Not to mention we didn't have the money, but it's just too big of a project to do on my own. I mean, I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I don't have the resources. So unless God kicks open that door, there is no way I'm even going to attempt to do it because it will fail, you know? So I have to wait for him, and it sucks, you know, and that's all there is to it. So if you're watching this, I don't know if you signed up during that membership drive, it's not going to be for a while. If you want to cancel your membership, I totally understand. You know, you still do get benefits within City Fam, but not the benefits that you would have gotten at Home had we opened. And I'm sorry it's taken this long for us to find that out, but that's what's up. So if you want to ride with us and continue to support us, we do appreciate it. If anyone's watching this and you just believe in what we're doing, become a contributing member. You know, I'll post a link for that as well. Anywhere from $10 to $40 a month, you can support us. The money goes to great causes. I don't get paid. You know, we keep our overhead as low as we possibly can and scrape by, which we've done pretty good at for the last, you know, 4 years. So yeah, anyway, that's the news with Home, and I'll keep you posted if anything changes. Who knows? Maybe they won't open, or maybe they'll open and they'll go out of business quickly, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. But I will say that I had a meeting with a really wealthy business owner right before I left, about a week before I left, maybe 2 weeks before I left. His name is Brian. I won't mention his last name, but he's really wealthy. He's worth over $100 million. He really is all about helping people and helping organizations that help people. So he really liked the vision of Home, and has messaged me several times since we met, shared the business plan with him. I'm actually meeting with him on Monday to talk about Home and City Fam. So he might be, you know, an answer to prayer, because again, I'm just not smart enough to do a lot of the stuff. I have the vision. God gave me a vision, and I can see what needs to happen. I just don't know how to do it, and I'm not smart enough for it. So if he, you know, really believes in us and gets behind us, then that could be the answer. We're also going to something called Innovation Works, which is, well, we're applying for it. which is in June. And if we get accepted to that, they do, you know, we get a mentor, and they do all these, they give us all kinds of stuff that we need. You know, they're going to tighten up our business plan, give us a sustainable financial model, and there was one other thing that I can't think of right now. So a lot of good stuff. So we're hustling. We were here till, you know, 10 o'clock last night, about 9:30, I guess. We had our board meeting, and just, you know, we're trying to figure it out, especially as these new chapters start up, because we're like, well, how do we do this? Are we, I mean, what is it? Is it a franchise? Is it an association? Do they pay us to start? Like, so we're wrestling through all these things. So what we're landing on is it's called a fiscal sponsorship. So they kind of come underneath of our nonprofit umbrella, and they're able to basically function. You know, we pay for their insurance and everything that they need, and then we get like 10% of the money that comes through, or something like that. I don't have the hard numbers. I think it is 10%, but that's basically what's going on. So that's where we're at with everything. As far as personal, feel good. I was super burnt out, like I said before I left. I feel like God's given me the green light to date again, to be honest. So I haven't dated in 7 years, and you know, a big part of it was because I didn't have time or money. So I was really working hard on City Fam, super passionate about the vision, waiting for God, not really sure if I was waiting for the girl that he told me about years earlier, or if it was going to be somebody else. I guess I was waiting for him, but also I just didn't have time or money. And now I feel like, you know, my time's freeing up a little bit. My finances still aren't great, but you know, they're better than they were, because they couldn't have gotten any worse. And I'm thinking that he's giving me the green light. So I'm, you know, cautiously excited about sticking my toe back in that water. I mean, definitely want that. I definitely want a relationship. I feel like it would give me some more stability in my life, you know, if I had a person, you know, and, you know, I don't know. So I'm gonna stick my toe back in that water and probably go on some dates soon. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. Somebody left a comment today on Facebook, and they said, you know, maybe God's left you single all this time because he knows that you need to be single in order to build City Fam and to write this book and get the message out there. And I said, yeah, I thought that. Trust me, that thought has crossed my mind several times. And then I hashtag it, damn it, I want to have sex again. Because I really do. I'm not lying. Like, I miss being physical with you know, a significant other. And not just sex, but just, you know, even having somebody to go to the movies with on Friday and hold their hand, and, you know, or lay down on the couch and spoon, or any of that. Like, again, my boundaries have been up really far for a long time, and at some point it gets old, you know what I mean? And you know, maintaining those boundaries have been safe, but they're exhausting, you know, to keep those boundaries up. And anyway, I'm looking forward to we'll see. You know, I don't know what to expect. Maybe I go to one of these other cities for a City Fam chapter and I meet my future wife. I don't know. I really don't. But I think that's it. Let me see if there's anything else I missed here. Nope, that's it. So appreciate you guys. Come on out. We'll be at Kissling's tonight for Renegade. I'd love to see you guys. And that's it. See you.
Thank you so much for watching my video on YouTube. I wanted to take a moment here at the end to tell you about something that is not only important to me, it's important to the world. Recently, I wrote a book entitled Why Waiting Works: How Fast Sex Prevents Us from Finding True Love and Long-Term Happiness. It has an average 5-star review on Amazon, and it's written so practically that even readers that didn't agree with my stance on waiting have told me it caused them to reevaluate their lives. So if you or anyone you know is single, or if you or anyone you know is in a physical relationship and not married, I am imploring you to pick up a copy of my book. It literally will take you a maximum of 4 hours to read it, and has the potential to change the course of your life. It's one thing to do something that you don't completely understand. It's a whole different thing to do something when you know exactly why you're doing it. And that's what my book is really doing for people. So I just want to thank you in advance. Again, this is something that's important to me, but it's even more important for the rest of the world. And I could really use your help to get the message out. Thank you.